Hey you, I told you I'd be back. Well, my bags are packed, I'm ready to go, 'cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. It's time to roll the intro again. Hey everyone, Bruce back again for Blackboard Rules. Today we're going to be talking about road work, and I don't mean the type of road work where you're filling in potholes. I'm talking about the type of road work where a performer or a musician heads out on tour. A tour can consist of a handful of dates or quite a few dates. There's lots of different types of touring. For example, on a smaller scale, you could be headed out in just a van or a car, driving from date to date. Or you could be in a bus or motorhome, traveling from date to date. Or, in some cases, you may be flying to each different location. The first rule is staying on the route. If you're traveling by car from venue to venue, if it's going to take you some time to get to the next venue, stay on the road you're on. Try not to get sidetracked on any side roads. And if you have to stop for gas or to eat, it's really best if you just can pull off of the main road that you're on to a restaurant that's very close to the highway. I can't tell you the number of times when I was first starting out and we would pull off and we would go down a side road into a town, and before you know it, we'd wasted an hour, and then we would try and find our way back to the highway again. So we made the rule to just stick to the highway, stick to the main roads, and if we had to pull off, we pulled off where we could see the highway. If you happen to be flying to the date, it's usually best to travel as a group. When you get to the airport, you check your luggage, you're going to clear security, and then you'll go into the gate area. Now, if your plane's leaving within, an hour or two, I would definitely stick around at the gate and not wander too far off. If you have a longer layover, it's best to at least stay in the airport. That way, if there's any changes to the flight or the gate that the flight is leaving from, you're going to be able to hear that over the loudspeaker. I can't tell you the number of times I've been in an airport and the plane starts to board, and all of a sudden we're looking around for the guitar player or the bass player or somebody, and then things can get very frantic. Another important rule is to make sure that you have your paperwork in order. This would include any hotel reservations, airline tickets. If you're traveling to another country, then you're going to want to have your visas in place. You are also going to want to have your passports and identification with you. Paperwork also means making sure that all your venues have been booked. All your hotel rooms have been booked if you need a hotel room. It also means making sure all your contracts are in order with the different venues and promoters. I just talked about that in my previous video. Contracts, you can find that on my YouTube channel. But very important, because you don't want to get somewhere and need your paperwork and not have it. Number 3, pack what you need. Packing personally is up to you. It's your own preference. Obviously you're going to pack your clothes and any toiletries that you might need for you personally. Try not to pack too much stuff or worry about it, because really, when you get to the gig, if you have forgotten your toothbrush or your deodorant, you can always go to a store there and get it. So don't sweat the small stuff. As for gear, make sure you pack definitely what you need to get the job done. And pack spare things if you need them. As a drummer, you might want to pack 2 snares. You might want to have 2 bass drum pedals. As a guitar player, you're probably going to have at least a couple of guitars. Also, you want to pack any extra strings that you might need. It's not so bad when you're playing kind of bigger cities, but if you're playing smaller places, small towns, some of this stuff may be hard to come by, especially if you need it. Another point on traveling with gear is make sure that you have cases for everything. I don't go across the street without putting my gear in a case. That can be everything from just a regular guitar case or a soft bag for a drum set or keyboard, all the way up to a full-blown ATA flight case, or what we commonly refer to as an anvilized case for specifically air travel. Believe me, cases are worth their weight in gold, and you'll never go wrong with having cases for your gear. It will save your butt. Another great thing to have with you on the road is a toolkit or a small set of tools. This can be as simple as a multi-purpose screwdriver, maybe even one of those Leatherman things that you wear on your belt. It's got all the little gadgets and tools on it. I would have a knife. I would have maybe a pair of wire cutters with me. And I would definitely have a flashlight. You would not believe how handy those things are, especially if you're backstage and all the lights are off. You don't want to be tripping over cords. And last but not least, I always try and carry a small first aid kit with me on the road. It usually consists of a few Band-Aids, one of them small travel-sized Tylenol or Advil bottles. I sometimes even carry a few Gravol tablets in case I get motion sickness or even an upset stomach from something I've eaten. Definitely you want to take any personal medication that you might need on the road, and if you got a little bit of room, why not take a few vitamins with you? Those will always keep you healthy. One of the most important things that you want to remember when you're out on the road is to stay healthy and well. This can be as simple as making sure you take your vitamins every day, to watching how you pick up a heavy case. One of the most important things you want to remember when you're out doing road work is that it is work. It can sometimes be very strenuous. You can also lose out on some sleep that you might need. And once you do that, your body can get run down very quickly and you can start to get sick. People out there are expecting to see you perform. So you need to make sure that you are in the best physical condition you can be in. I've been sick on the road a few times and it's really no fun. I also make sure that I avoid other people who may be sick. One of the ways I avoid getting sick when I'm on the road is I make sure I do simple things like washing my hands often. After shows, you may bump into people who want to talk to you, and they will always want to shake your hand. And sometimes you don't know where those hands have been, because by washing your hands you can eliminate the spread of germs that can make you sick. Another thing to help you stay healthy while you're on the road is to make sure you eat properly. I know it's tempting, but try not to eat too much junk. Potato chips, chocolate bars, you name it. You know what's good for you and what's not. When you're out on the road, you're working in a professional capacity. That's why it's always probably a good idea to avoid excessive use of what I call substances. Those can include alcohol, drugs, marijuana. When people are paying to see you play or perform, it's really important that you have a clear and sober mind and that your body's healthy so you can perform to your fullest. The next rule I have is about eating in restaurants. It's a good idea to pick something off the menu that isn't too exotic for the location that you're in. For example, if I'm on the West Coast or East Coast of North America, it's probably a pretty safe bet for me to have some seafood. However, if I'm in the Midwest, it might not be the greatest idea, and I would stick to things that are difficult for restaurants to screw up. For example, hamburgers are usually a safe bet. Roast beef, steak, usually a safe bet. Chicken, usually a safe thing to eat. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it seems like lately I'm hearing more and more news of people having their gear stolen. Which brings me to my next point. Never, ever leave your gear unattended or not secured. If you're going to be playing a multi-night gig in a venue, make sure that that venue is going to be secured before you leave for the night. Confirm with the manager that that's what's going to happen. Also, if you have a trailer full of gear and you're staying in a hotel overnight, make sure that you park that trailer in a very well-lit area, preferably close to the hotel or the building, so that it would be hard for someone else to break into it without being seen, or even hook up another truck to the trailer and driving off with it. And as we all know, gear is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Some of us have gear that we've had for years and years, and it has a real personal value to us. It's a heartbreaking shame to see anybody lose something like that. And just a few other doodads that you might want to keep in mind when you're on the road. And they're just good general traveling habits. One thing is that it's always good to carry a little bit of cash on you. I know we all get used to using our debit cards or our credit cards, but sometimes you run into the odd occasions where those don't work, or the ATM doesn't work. I actually carry a notebook with me all the time. That way, if I come up with an idea, whether it be for a video or a musical idea or a production idea, I can just quickly write it down. When I'm on the road, I can keep track of my spending and my little road budget in there as well. And it's always a smart idea to make sure that you keep in contact with someone at home. That way there's always someone who knows where you are. So you can see there's a lot of different things you have to think about when you're planning a road trip. Thanks for joining us here today, and I hope you got something out of the video that you can use. If you liked the video, give us a big thumbs up down below, as well as smacking that subscribe button and hitting the little bell next to it. That way you get notified every time a new video from us comes out. Also, if you have a topic that you'd like to see us talk about, or a product that you'd like to see us review, leave us a comment down below and we'll get to it as soon as we can. So once again, I'm Bruce for Blackboard Rules, and we'll see you in the next video, as soon as I get my luggage loaded. Oh, can we just roll the outro?